Alright, I have two movies to talk about. The first is The Sandlot. The 20th anniversary was the 7th, and I thought yesterday was the 7th, and today was going to be the 8th, but actually yesterday was the 8th, and today was the 9th, so I missed the date. But still, this week does mark the 20th anniversary of The Sandlot, no matter what. So, um, I watched it last night, and I just absolutely adore this film. And people are like, I don't like baseball. It's not a baseball film, really. It's just a bunch of kids being kids back in the, the 1960s. This was made in 1993, but it was set in the 1960s. And I love these kind of movies where it's like they show the grown-up version of the character and then they flash back to when they were younger with their friends, and those always seem like so much fun, like this and Now and Then, Just Stand By Me. I love those kind of movies. But this was so good. They interviewed the actor who played Smalls, Tom Jerry. They interviewed him, and he said it was one of the best times in his whole life was filming this because they had so much fun. He said it wasn't like they were working. They had a tree house that they played in between takes, and they played baseball all day, and they went swimming a lot in the pool. There's a pool scene. They went swimming in that pool a lot. They just had a good time. And watching this, it does seem like they had such a blast doing this. It's like, there's really no adults in this. I mean, they show Small's mom and his stepdad, but not that much. So it's pretty much just like these kids, and they're just having their fun and enjoying themselves. And of course, James Earl Jones at the end, but there's really no adult interaction in this movie. And it's just like a kid's fantasy, I guess. And then going on they went to a carnival, and the actor who played Smalls once again said it was just like a great time during that scene, and he just had a good time. But he said they haven't talked 20 years. They haven't talked since this movie was made, but you could tell they had a good time. This guy in the back, can't really see him, but him. How did I get him? Here. This guy here in the back. He played Jesse in Mighty Ducks. Did another one of my favorite childhood films, but he was in that. And him, Ham Porter, he was in The Big Green, which I saw, and I love him in that too. But Ham Porter has to be one of the best film characters ever in the history of film. He is so funny. All his lines are so funny and so clever. And he's like the overweight one in the bunch. I don't know. I guess it just has to happen in these movies. I don't know why, but they do. But you don't make him like a wimpy guy, you know? They make him really funny, and he stands up for himself, and he's really good at baseball, and I just love him. I love that he's teaching Smalls how to make a s'more. That is one of my top favorite film scenes of all time. Pretty much could be in the top 5, because I just think it's so brilliant how he's so annoyed that Smalls doesn't know what a s'more is, and he's always like, "You're killing me, Smalls." He didn't know who the Bambino was, but the s'mores was so funny. The way that he's describing how to make the s'more, he's just so annoyed by the whole thing, and it just so he was just so funny in that scene. But If you haven't seen this, I don't know why, because it's really like one of the best kids movies. I feel like they're like, you know, the actual classic movies, and then the 80s classics, which is like John Hughes and, you know, Say Anything, and, you know, the 80s classics. And then you have the 90s classics, which are Sandlot, A Little Princess, Now and Then, My Girl. You know, there's a lot of like classic 90s films. And then you get into the 2000s and there's some more. They're still good. But I feel like they've kind of simmered down quite a bit. But I feel like the 90s also was like part of the classic film era because there's so many classic movies like The Sandlot, like others I just mentioned that, you know. You mention the name and everyone's like, oh, I love that movie and it was so good. And it's like they bring people together and they're like in their memories. And yep, so The Sandlot. 5 out of 5, 2 thumbs up, and that is all. Goodbye.